was actually really interesting, Mario. Thank you for that. Because I think when you are in any conference with the view that you wanted to go there and then you wanted to find a project, how do you do it? You have certain criteria. How do you build that criteria? Okay, you can go and watch YouTube videos. There are tons of them. Everyone is telling you something about it, that this is what you do. But I think this sociology aspect is an interesting one over here. Are you guys using any sort of a spreadsheets to filter out or weed out all the bad ICOs when you are doing them? Could you raise hand any of you guys are actually using spreadsheets? Because there are advanced versions and confusing versions and absolutely ballistic, like you don't even understand what's going on. But you can download them. If you're not, I would highly advise you to go and start looking at those spreadsheets. They help you, what Mario was discussing earlier, that how to get the best projects, whether it's a dApp, whether it's a infrastructure, whether it's a blockchain, and if it is a blockchain, how do you compare it? Where is the benchmark? What should be the token size? How many tokens you should issue? Everything in relation to that. It really enhances your knowledge. And of course, the community is the most important aspect to that. And this is where our next guest and speaker is going to explain a little bit more. So I'd like to welcome Hikaru on the stage.
Hi everyone. So I'm Hikaru from Blockhive. I talked with the organizer of this event this morning, and I said that I'm going to start with my presentation with playing piano. But instead of that, I want to start with a quick question to you guys. So, does internet fundamentally change your life or not? If yes, please raise your hand. Thank you very much. I'm pretty much surprised that there's someone who doesn't raise their hands. But personally, I'm also the one that my life has changed by the internet fundamentally. And also, my life is also changed fundamentally by blockchain. And also, I believe that the blockchain will change the people's lives fundamentally within next decades. And today, I'm going to talk about the borderless world, but it's mostly like what we do as Blockhive, and also how the token economy goes within next decades. So before talking about the token economy, I want to talk about the Blockhive. The Blockhive is Estonia-based blockchain incubator founded by blockchain specialized engineers and also other specialized different background expertise for building new ecosystem and a business model for our borderless society. Now, what we are aiming is that the society 6.0. It's the idea of the new era of society. So all human beings are experiencing a new era. And when we came across to the new era, every time we need a new business model that would fundamentally change our lives. And we, of course, don't want to go back to the past. Let's say that go back to like more than like 1,000 years, and then there are on the society 1.0, like a hunting society. And if you want to go back to the society, then there's no internet and there's no industrial service, there's no car, then it's not convenient, it's not like efficient. So every time we came across the new society, new challenges, and then also a new era, we are building new business model. And right now, we are currently in the middle of the society 5.0, I believe. It's the society that is slightly changing by IoT and artificial intelligence technology. And what we are aiming is the building the ecosystem for society 6.0. And society 6.0 is the society that is more like a decentralized world. So people are living in the world which relies on land, like location-dependent lives. But it will be changing to the location-independent world. So for example, Estonia is trying to be location-independent through e-residency, but I'm going to talk about that in detail for upcoming slide. So the theme for today is a token economy and a decentralized application and other business model powered by blockchain. So what we do basically right now is that we strategically creating our new business model together with non-blockchain companies powered by blockchain with other kind of diverse experts, for example, AI companies or the other industrial or industries companies for Society 6.0, who trust that blockchain will fundamentally change people's lives. So there are some, let's say, centralized banks who actually don't believe much about the blockchain. They just want to use the name of blockchain, and they don't want to decentralize their services, because if they totally decentralize their service, they're going to lose their job. So those people are not in our ecosystem, but those who believes that blockchain fundamentally change the people's life is in our ecosystem. That's what we call Blockhive ecosystem. It's kind of like a community who believes the blockchain will change our lives. And you can check that in detail through our website, but it's an ecosystem what we are building. And this time I want to talk more about the ecosystem or community. So when we say community, I think it's the two-word compound. It's a common and unity. So it's a organization or like a people who gathered with one common sense. So when you're born and then until you die, you join lots of community. For example, family is one of the community. You have kind of biological one common sense. And another one is sports activity, or here in school, like Tallinn Technology University, there's the common sense that who wants to study about science and technology here, and also work, religion, and there are like some community sides, and also our geographical dependency. The religion is more like, it doesn't rely on the locations. But the nation itself is the biggest community in the world right now. And also it's strongly geographically related. But I believe that the future of community will be changed in a different way. And it can be powered by token economy. The future of community is before the future of community, it's the present community, the nation itself is powered by currency, because the nation, which is the biggest community for now, is allowed to issue their own currency, but rest of the community are not allowed to issue the currency before blockchain was born. But after blockchain, so yes, the smaller community can also issue their own currencies that can rule their community strongly. Yeah. So the future, the small and specialized communities are, and also location-independent communities are powered by token economy. That's what I believe. And the small communities are really important. It provides individuals to the freedom of choices. Like, I talk with e-residency team in here Estonia. Like, Estonia has done to be like a successful digital nation, but they're aiming to be the virtual nation. The difference between digital nation and a virtual nation is that whether it's like a location independent or location dependent. So the virtual nation is a location independent idea that wherever or no matter where you are born or where you live, you can benefit from the community, which is e-residence. That's what e-residency in Estonia is doing. And also, like, I was born in Japan originally, and now I live in Estonia. So I chose to live in Estonia, but there are some people who want to live in Estonia too, but there are some people who has no choice. When you are born in India, you automatically belongs to the community, which is India. When you're born in Japan, you automatically belong to the community, which is Japan. So there's no choice. The nation is that only the community you automatically belongs to, also the family too, but it's quite a different thing. So the small community gives you the power and choose which community you belongs to, and as many as community you want, you can join. And another one is a contribution. Like if the community is too big, it's pretty hard to measure how much you can contribute to the community. For example, when you were in Japan, or when I was in Japan, I don't know how much I can contribute to Japan. Sometimes here in Estonia, I say something bad about the Japanese government. Okay, Japanese government are really slow to apply the regulation in that area, or those congressmen are quite slow and they don't know much about IT. But the more I say bad about the Japan, the more it comes back to me. But I can't measure how those words come out from my mouth has impact to the Japanese community. Or on the other hand, in good way, how much I can contribute to Japan is kind of unmeasurable. But a small community, for example, Bitcoin. How many of you have Bitcoin? Thank you. So maybe you have experienced that, or you were asked from your friends, like, what is Bitcoin? And then you have experience to explain, okay, Bitcoin is da-da-da-da-da. And then maybe your friends bought Bitcoin. So that is actually you're contributing to the Bitcoin network, even you're not the salesman of Bitcoin. And then you don't get any rebate or any kickback from Bitcoin, but Bitcoin prices goes up because it's a network effect. Network effect that even only Bitcoin holder like explains about Bitcoin, but those reflect to increasing the community so that Bitcoin price goes up. And also the miner is contributing the Bitcoin network. If they try to sell all of the Bitcoin price goes down, but they're not going to do that. Because that they also are contributing this Bitcoin network, and once they sell all of the Bitcoin, then we can easily see that the price goes down. So everyone in a different perspective, different layer is contributing one single idea, which is Bitcoin, and it's fully decentralized. But since the contribution, and it's pretty measurable than other, like the large community, it's really, it's working. And the Bitcoin, as I think is that one of the best example that the new way of the community is really works without a centralized organization. And another one is a corporation. Like small community and a small community can easily cooperate together with. Like let's say 5 years ago, I talked with Embassy of France in Japan, and I said that maybe you guys can issue a wine coin for wine lovers. Then I also talked with the Japanese sake kind of organization, and you guys can issue sake token, sake coin. Then you can purchase Japanese sake. But if in your wallet you may have Japanese sake coin, you may have like a wine coin, you may have single malt whiskey coin. Then it's pretty complicated when you pay it. But I feel that it can be much simpler in next decades, because there are technology that allows you to much easier to execute those things, like blockchain, decentralized exchange, and a smart contract. Even if you have a wine coin, like a Japanese sake coin, and also single malt whiskey coin in your wallet, the smart contract can identify that how many glass of wines you had, how many glass of Japanese sake you had, how many glass of single malt whiskey you have is calculated and automatically converted, and then like the payment will be executed. In that case, like I should say that the small community, even like okay, you like wine, you like single malt whiskey, you like Japanese sake, so you belongs to those small communities to contribute to the community. But the corporation can be smoother by the decentralized exchange and also the blockchain smart contract. Those technologies are still immature, but on the other hand, it's a significant component for a new society going forward. Yeah. And even we see those changes in not the small community, but also our municipalities. Last month, I went to Berkeley in California, and I met the deputy mayor there. I talked about because they are considering initial community offering. It's kind of idea is kind of ICO, same as ICO, initial coin offering, but it's more like a tokenized bond. So if we say tokenized bond, of course there are so many issues around issuing tokenized bond through blockchain, because the past presentation, people were talking about SEC and also securitized tokens. So obviously the token is considered as security under SEC. So they're pretty much struggling to issue tokens. But since the federal government cut the support to the municipal government, because one of the example, Berkeley is supporting immigrants, which is called the Serenity area, so that the federal government basically doesn't want to support those municipalities who are supporting immigrants. And then they try to figure out a way to build their own, the community, to help their own society, which is the Berkeley itself, by tokenizing and also tokenization, and ask global people to contribute what Berkeley is going to do for their citizens. So if the global people are supporting the idea of the deputy of mayor, then people in the global world can easily contribute the local idea. The global people can contribute to the local idea through the tokenization and also the crypto-based financing. But still there are some issues around it. And why I went there is that because we have one of the solutions that can be addressed to the municipalities, those idea, and also we've seen some kind of similar idea in the municipalities in Japan too. So what we are doing right now is that we are addressing those issues around the tokenization of communities without ICO, because ICO is not the only solution for those community to tokenize and also raising fund for building their community. And we call it ILP. It's initial loan procurement. It's similar to ICO, but it's in the form of loan. And it's designed by our team, our legal team, our engineering team, and also our kind of accountant team. So we designed this from regulatory authorities' point of view to follow the regulations. Because ICO, there are so many issues around ICO. One is the taxation. For example, in Japan, if you raise fund through ICO, the money you raised is accounted as sales, which means that you need to pay up to 40% corporate tax. And also another thing is that regulatory authorities are basically concerning about the anti-money laundering, so that the KYC solution should be so KYC solution should be fully compatible to ICO platform. So IOP, how does it work is that since I've said that this is initial loan procurement, it's similar to ICO, but it's in the form of a loan. It's a legally binding loan agreement that individual or institutional investors can digitally sign a loan agreement through the platform, and then they can lend the money to organizations, municipalities, or startups through the platform. It's still crypto financing, but if you hear the loan financing, it's basically the traditional loan doesn't have liquidity comparing to ICO. But we issue unique tokens, which is called future loan access token. That is a tool to provide a liquidity to loan. But if we provide a liquidity to loan itself, the token is considered as security, basically. It's not only in Japan, but also EU area too. So the future loan access token is actually the access token, the kind of utility token that allows you to enter into the loan agreement. And then I can explain about that in detail. But the IOP contains three components. One is digital ID. If if you're an Estonian citizen, then you have an EID, and you're kind of familiar with signing document digitally through the EID and a digital platform. So it's the idea that providing same benefit that Estonian citizens benefit from the Estonian government services to the global people through the digital ID platform and also our digital agreement platform. And last one is future loan access token that provides liquidity to loan. So the future loan access token is access token, utility token that has simple two features. One is the rights to sign an agreement. Another one is to transfer the rights to sign a loan agreement. So it's a utility and access token that only token holder can sign a specific loan agreement through the platform. So if you don't have the token, you can't sign the loan agreement. So the idea is this: we totally differentiate the token part and the legally binding agreement part, because still the smart contract is not legally binding. So if you go to jurisdiction with a smart contract core, then it cannot be implemented to the legitimate business, because the smart contract itself is not human readable, so that it's pretty hard for people to understand what it says. So it doesn't comply to the regulations. So digital loan agreement allows to execute human readable loan agreement and then turn it into the smart contract, and all the legally binding loan agreement is stored on blockchain, and it's generate hash. And the future loan access token is just access token. It's like a key of apartment. So if you want to rent an apartment, you need to have legally binding rental apartment of your apartment, and then you also get a key. If you don't have a key, even you can legally claim that you are renting this apartment, you cannot get inside. But if you have a key, but you don't have legally binding agreement, of course you can get inside, but you might be going to jail. Yeah, that's kind of free rent price. So yeah, idea is quite similar to differentiate legally binding part and token part. Token part is just access key that has any rights, that doesn't have any rights, any value. It's just a key to access and enter into loan agreement. So only the token holder can sign the agreement. So this works with, for example, IOP works in this way. The first thing, you need to submit Ether address. And second thing, you create the digital ID through our platform. And you can use this digital ID same as Estonian ID. So if the other, let's say, crypto exchange or ICO platform applies this same digital ID solutions, you can repeatedly use same digital ID to verify yourself and identify yourself, and also create digital signature to the contract. And then since you have created your digital ID, now you can digitally sign a contract. So you can see the human readable legal loan agreement, and then you digitally sign the contract. After that, you lend Ether to organization or municipalities or startups who conduct ILP. And at the end, you receive future loan access token. So the future loan access token is a general term of the new token design. So any company, any organization can name on it whatever they want. So for example, in our case, we name our token as Hive token, but it's designed through the future loan access token. After ILP, the token allows you to freely trade the rights to sign agreement, which is equal to kind of without waiting maturity has come, maturity of the loan agreement has come, you can get the principal back through the market or somebody else. So the token allows you to freely sell the rights to sign agreement, which is equal to you can get the principal back without waiting maturity has come. So technically, the loan agreement itself is not the transfer. So if there is another person who receives tokens, this future loan access token, those token holder can sign a loan agreement through the platform, so that the new loan agreement is appeared between the fundraiser and then also creditor. We believe that this ILP solution accelerates the borderless financing. It's not only about the startup, it's not only about the blockchain companies, but we've seen a lot of blockchain-related projects that doesn't necessarily require tokens, but they because they want to raise fund, they try to do ICO, and even they realize that they don't like necessarily require token, yeah, maybe we should implement token. For example, in Estonia, they are slightly trying to implement a blockchain to a medical record, but they don't issue medical record token because it's distract the usability. So the blockchain somehow sometimes doesn't necessarily require a token, but on the other hand, like ICO is still innovative solution for a fully open source platform, the fully decentralized platform. Because the fully decentralized platform or fully decentralized services is pretty hard to monetize. Let's, for example, Wikipedia. We've seen, like, donate us. That's on the right top. We've seen like a lot of time, and it's pretty annoying. So, but I donate less than 5 times to the Wikipedia. But if Wikipedia applies ICO, then I believe that could work. And everyone can contribute to write your knowledge and then also correct those sources and contribute to the Wikipedia, so that the tokenized Wikipedia token is incentivize you, and then you receive tokens and you sell it. So maybe you can somehow live better life than writing a blog and making money through the advertisement. So the IOP, right now, we as Blockhive, as a startup, applies IOP for our fundraising solution. And right now we are communicating with the municipal government and also other social impact project that potentially can apply IOP for their fundraising solution. Because they are not fully decentralized, they're believing the token economy can empower individual by, not asking the large corporate investors or institutional investors to invest in millions or billions, but asking like global people to help and contribute this project with small amount, so that the people who support this project will be much like higher numbers, so that the people, and also we've seen that the higher network effect. So that's the idea of IOP. Currently, we are applying IOP by ourselves, and it's just started. And if you want to take a look at it about the IOP, and also if you want to check the legal structure of the IOP in detail, we are happy to answer those questions. And I'm not sure if there are any lawyers or accountants in here, but we are happy to answer any legal question, an accountant question, or the engineer's question is much happier to answer. So please check our website, and also if you check our Telegram, then you can see how IOP is structured in a legal way, and also the technology behind. This can be applied to not only the loan agreement, but also if contract is switched to fund equity agreement. This can be applied to any form of legally binding agreement, and the token provides a liquidity to it. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.